Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you for joining Zoom In with Renee. Today's video is on the webinar, which was organized by Indian American Forum and Reenbow Media. March is Women's History Month, and it's also National Nutrition Month. So Mrs. Indu Jaiswal, the founder chairperson of Indian American Forum, and myself decided to have this very informational and educational webinar on women's health and nutrition through all stages of life through Ayurveda. Our distinguished speakers were Vaidya Vandana Baranwal and Gary and Gaurav Grewal. Ayurveda, as you know, is a science of longevity, is a science of life, it's a science of healing. And in India, it's one of the most traditional systems of medicine that is practiced very actively. Let me now introduce to you my co-moderator. She is Dr. Bhavani Srinivasan. Hello, Dr. Bhavani.
Yes, hello, since I'm beaming in from Singapore, it's morning.
Good morning. Good morning from Singapore to you. Dr. Bhavani is a pediatrician practicing in Long Island, New York. She is the Vice Chair of Information Technology for API National. API is the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. And Dr. Bhavani is the Chair for Women's Affairs for API Queens and Long Island chapter. She is the Vice Chair of the Asian American Advisory Council in Nassau County, Long Island. And she's the President of the Grant Medical College Alumni USA.
Again, for all of you who have just joined, good morning from Singapore, and this is the top of the hour. I wanted to say something about our host, Dr. Renee Mehrra. She is the president of Reenbow Media, which is an advertising and broadcasting as well as a public relations company based in the US. Renee happens to be a doctorate in public health, and she's interviewed many personalities in her when she's wearing her hat as a broadcaster and a network executive. And she is a very dynamic individual. She's very much part of the network of our community right there in Long Island and in New York City. So Renee, thanks so much, for making me your co-moderator this morning, and I look forward to talking to our Ayurvedic specialists and gleaning information from them.
We have Indu Jaiswal. She's as I said, she's the founder chair of the Indian American Forum since 1997. She's a registered dietitian and a nutritionist. Above all, I know Mrs. Indu Jaiswal as the most dedicated, tireless, passionate community activist, always out there volunteering in so many nonprofit organizations.
Oh, namaste, everyone. Thank you, Renee. And thank you, Bhavani, for joining us from Singapore. In addition to what Bhavani has said about Renu also serves on the board of many nonprofits, including the Queens District Attorney's South Asian Advisory Council, New York City Community Board 6, and board director of National Certification and Credentialing Board for Ayurvedic Medicine in US, and also president of Reenbow Media. So on that note, as you know that I'm a dietitian by profession, and this Ayurveda and women, as Renu has said, is a part of the Women's History Month program, and it's a nutrition month. So both of them come together. So I'm a woman, I'm a nutritionist, so fit in the role correctly. Okay. Talking about, you will be hearing, and we want to welcome all our panelists and all our specialists who are going to be talking on Ayurveda. It's very, very important that we are going to be hearing their intervention, their recommendations, gearing towards women's health. And we also want to, thank Jyoti Gupta ji and Anju Sharma, all the people who have joined us, who will be helping us, in moderating the program, being a host and a co-host. So on that note, we want to welcome members of all our community forum and all the dignitaries who have joined this year. We also have from the US government the new dietary guidelines, and basically the heading says make every bite count. What you eat. So we always say in our nutrition field that you are what you eat, whether you're eating Ayurvedic food or you're eating not, or whichever diets you're following, Ayurvedic or any other diet. It basically reflects upon the kind of food you're eating.
Thank you very much. This is the National Nutrition Month, and the theme this year for the National Nutrition Month was Fuel for the Future. And we're talking about food. We're talking about dietary regimen. We're talking about the good foods, the right foods for healthy eating, lifestyle changes. And that's where Ayurveda really plays a very, very strong role. And it underscores the importance of diet, of proper lifestyle, and being tuned with our circadian rhythm, that we can be optimally healthy on all levels, whether it's spiritual, mental, physical, or emotional. So I'm going to introduce our first speaker. She's Vaidya Vandana Baranwal. She's a master's in Ayurveda, and she specializes in women's health and a published author of 2 books on women. Vaidya Vandana Baranwal is an Ayurveda consultant and an educator. She's a founder and CEO of Ayurveda, that is her company, and she's on board of directors of the Global Council for Ayurveda Research. She is the former professor of the SDM College of Ayurveda, Bangalore.
Thank you, Dr. Renee. I'm going to talk about women's health and nutrition through Ayurveda. So, this is my introduction slide. And now coming to first thing, I would like to say that in USA, Ayurveda is practiced under alternative and complementary system of medicine. I am a classically trained Ayurveda doctor in India, but practicing in USA, I'm not a medical doctor. So I would like to read this disclaimer that information shared in this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only, and not to be considered a medical advice. It is not for the purpose of diagnose, treat, or cure. I would like you to understand Ayurveda, how it is and what is in classical text, and something from my experience. So if you want to make any changes, please check with your medical doctor and your healthcare provider. Thank you. So talking about the Ayurveda, where this Ayurveda comes from. So I see in my audience, most of you are from India. You might have heard the name Ayurveda. Many of you might also already used some of the things that Ayurveda teaches us. So it is one of the most ancient system of medicine in the world, which has been continuously being practiced. It is considered cultural and intellectual heritage of India. And modern historians date it as 5,000, 7,000, or 10,000 years old. But if we look up at the classical Ayurvedic text, it traces its origin to gods. It is considered divine in its origin, that this knowledge has been given to the humans for their benefit so that they can live a healthy and happy life and be released from the cycles of life and death. So Ayurveda traces its origin to gods, and the efficacy, acceptance, and availability of Ayurvedic herbs has kept Ayurveda alive. Although by history, we know that India has been under invasion and been ruled by British, where the indigenous knowledge has been systematically destroyed, but Ayurveda is still alive. And we are very fortunate to have this knowledge in our hand. Food and nutrition, how we understand Ayurvedically. So the 2 goals of Ayurveda is, first is to protect our health, maintain good health. And when someone falls sick, it gives in our hand the knowledge how to cure and treat those diseases. So Ayurveda is primarily preventative in its approach. So food and lifestyle are the 2 approaches, the 2 powerful tools of Ayurveda that teaches us how to stay healthy, how to protect our health. And half of the global burden of diseases would be solved if the problem due to nutrition is solved, bigger health, this lack of nutrition, malnutrition, or the diseases related to nutrition are considered bigger than the problem caused by smoking. 1 in 5 deaths can be prevented. In US alone, lifestyle-based diseases, people suffer a lot. 70% are considered overweight, and 42% are obese. So if we look up at the nutrition perspective with the gender bias, we are talking about women health. So United Nations Administrative Committee on Coordination and its subcommittee on nutrition has published a gender perspective on the nutrition. And this paper says that when a woman does not get adequate nutrition, what happens that she goes through various life phases. So I will just share a glimpse from that published paper. What happens? It forms a vicious cycle. When a mother does not get nutrition, the child that is conceiving in her womb gets does not get adequate nutrition. Then what happens that the child may suffer from IUGR, it may suffer from low birth weight, the born child may be stunted in its growth. That adolescent that turns into a adolescent that have stunted growth, reduced physical and mental capacity, and the child also suffers from the impaired mental developments. They have higher mortality rate. And like I said, it forms a vicious cycle. The girl child, when becomes a mother, again conceives and delivers a child that is compromised. So this also leads to high mortality, maternal mortality rate. So this is a problem in women that actually needs to be addressed. There is no use of medicine. A person who is taking wholesome diet does not fall sick easily. There is no use of medicine for that person. But when a person falls sick and consumes unwholesome diet, then even medicines cannot help. So when diet is wholesome, there is no use of medicine. But when diet is unwholesome, medicine is of no use. And we all know someone is sick with cold and they continue eating, continue indulging in a lifestyle, going out and getting exposed to wind or eating cold food, ice cream, cold drinks, they will suffer longer than a person who follows the wholesome food that is more indicated in that problem. And Ayurveda also considered food as Mahabhaishajya, super medicine. So food in Ayurveda is seen not just something that nourishes the body. Food is seen as that it protects our good health. It helps in preventing the diseases. The person who follows, like I said, wholesome diet, the chances of them falling sick is less. And it also helps in disease management. But Ayurveda takes it one notch above. It says that Ayurveda, the food actually is Mahabhaishajya because it plays a role in the expression of phenotypic characters. It has the power to manipulate the gene expression. It can down-regulate or up-regulate. And it is called epigenetics or Ayurvedic genomics. This is a new development of a branch of study that modern science have been focusing on in past few decades. That when a mother who is pregnant, her food and lifestyle, it affects the conceptus. It affects the genetic phenotypic expression of that child. And not just the physical, but psychophysical aspect of that conceptus is affected by food that the mother takes. So Ayurveda considers food that not just only affects the mother, but the genotypic and phenotypic expression of the child. So how does it happen? Modern medicine focuses on what we are eating. Ayurveda says that that is not enough. We are not just what we eat. We are what we digest. It is very important to understand what our body is digesting. A person may eat the best food, but if the body is not digesting well, and after the digestion, tissue metabolism is not happening well, then that food is of no use. And this digestion is an aspect of the body that is affected by so many variables: how we think, our mind, the lifestyle. And Ayurveda says that there is a template. We are natural beings, and when our lifestyle is in balance and in harmony with the environment, then we digest our food well and our metabolism is well. The food that we eat is actually nourishing and becomes nutrient and not causes obesity or malnutrition or certain diseases. So this unique aspect of Ayurveda is, we can understood in a short way, that we have in our body a fire that digests our food that we eat. Like how we cook food on fire in our cooktop, the same way the food that we eat, this is a metaphor that in our body we have this fire in our belly that digests the food. So like suppose there is a fire, and how you protect it from wind, from even the fuel, that when something burns it forms ashes, and when those ashes are not removed, the burden of ash itself may distinguish the strength of that fire, extinguish the strength of that fire. So the fire that we have in belly digests our food, and how we protect this fire is important. But in each individual, this fire is unique. Ayurveda sees every individual as a unique person made of these 5 elements that we call space, air, water, fire, and earth. And the qualitative and quantitative proportion of these 5 elements is unique to that individual. And this affects their digestive fire. When this fire is in balance, that we call a state of sama. That is, Agni is sama in that person. That is their unique sama. That is their unique balance, what they eat, how they digest. But when this Agni is high, we call it Tikshagni. In some people, this Agni is low, that we call Mandagni. And in some people, this Agni is irregular, that we call Vishmagni. Sometimes it is high and sometimes it is low. And that why it is so is because of this qualitative and quantitative proportion of these 5 elements. And in the body, these 5 elements are present as 3 biological energies. These 5 elements are present as 3 biological energies that we call Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata is the energy of space and air. Pitta is the energy of fire and water. And Kapha is the energy of earth and water. So this fire is very unique to that individual. When it is in balance, when it is optimal, the person digests well. When the food is digested well and their tissue metabolism is optimal, person gets the nutrient. It is not just selecting the food that will help the person get the required nutrients for them. So this is a very profound science. There they have the classical texts not only describe about the fire, but they also describe about the spices, food, herbs that can ignite this fire. So ginger, cumin, black pepper, long pepper, these are some of the things that help ignite the digestive fire. And when the food is not taken, there are certain variables that affect the digestion, like how much food a person is taking. Overeating suppresses this fire. Undereating also affects the fire. The qualitative dietary deficiencies, like we understand food in the terms of 6 rasas, like sweet, sour, salt, bitter, pungent, and astringent. When the tastes are in not balance, then it is qualitative dietary deficiency. Overnutrition, someone is eating more. One of the elements that also causes dietary deficiency. Wrong combinations also affect this fire and how the body digests this food. So some of the toxins present in the food, like in the today's perspective, we can see that the food where it is grown, there would be present poisoning fertilizers are put, or GMO food, or how food is stored with preservatives, or chemicals are added to improve the flavor and to make it look good. So these are the toxins that are present in food. And along with that, the food should suit the balance of the body in the terms of these 3 doshas that is very unique to the person. When these requirements are not met, then the person suffers from the nutritional disorders, according to the Ayurveda. So along with that, it is also important to note the effect of the mind. The mindful eating part would be, Ayurveda has always said, but modern science is now saying that our gut have 500 million neurons. Our intestine alone contains 100 million neurons. It is called enteric nervous system. And our GIT makes almost 300 neurotransmitters, largest nerve of the central nervous system, vagus nervous. The vagus nerve connects to the gut. So our this nervous system or the mind affects how we digest our food. Ayurveda has always said that where we live, we should eat the food, the vegetables, the grains that grow there, local. And what we eat, we should eat according to our mind body type in the terms of these 5 elements. How much we eat, when we eat, and how we eat, how the food is cooked and served. So this mindfulness is very important aspect of Ayurveda. So I will just show you some of the food that Ayurveda says: puberty, menstruation, preconception, postpartum, healthy lactation. So Ayurvedic diet during puberty, it says that sesame seeds, jaggery, cow milk, ghee, butter, fenugreek seeds, amalki, dates, raisins, fig, guduchi, and one of the herbs, musta, devdaru, triphala, which is the combination of 3 herbs, are good food to have during adolescent period. And there have been many research papers, I have just shared 3, that says that sesame is actually in Ayurveda called Garbhasha Shodhan, and modern science also says that it is good. Here is the published paper for jaggery, for fenugreek seeds, and for sesame seeds. So jaggery in Ayurveda is again called cleansing, and there is a paper that says that it is cleansing for not just reproductive organs, but also for our respiratory system and lungs. During the menstruation, Ayurveda says that Ayurveda actually gives a template to be followed, which is during menstruation, that is called Rajas Salacharya. Not only the food, but lifestyle. I will focus on food. Ayurveda says that during menstruation, women should eat light, cooked, nourishing, but the food needs to be warm. Rice, wheat, fried barley cooked as gruel, lentils, mung dal, cooked vegetables are considered good for menstruating women. Other than that, coconut water, pomegranate, fresh sugarcane juice, banana, cumin, coriander, ginger, fennel, fenugreek seeds, ajwain, ghee, milk are considered good food. And some of the herbs like aloe, shatavari, and bhutakshi, kachur, these are considered good during menstruation. Here is a paper that says about some of, especially this paper is for fenugreek seeds, that how it helps relieve menstrual pain and is good for menstruating women. Now, the Ayurvedic diet for postpartum, and this also has been described in very much detail. Ayurveda says that after delivery, the 40-day or 6-month period, or till the menstruation is established, women need special care. And that has been described under Sutika Paricharya. So during this period, also freshly cooked, light, warm food is important. It especially says that this is the time when women should get unctuous food. Some ghee, butter, oil are important. And rice, barley, wheat, lentils, meat soups are considered good. Milk and ghee is considered good. Some of the spices like ginger, which is considered very good, either fresh ginger or dried ginger powder that we call sont. And turmeric, fennel, ajwain, black pepper, long pepper are considered very good. Beetroot, moringa are considered very good. And there are some research paper. There is a research paper also for moringa. I have shared in the end of the paper, my presentation. So some of the formulations which are very popular during Ayurvedic postpartum, which are not given as a medicine, but as the part of the diet. Saubhagya Sunchi Pak, Shatavari Pak, Panchko tea, or the Shmul tea, or this Abhyanga, that Ayurvedic massage is considered as nourishing, not just the therapy, but the food, because it helps the body get back to balance which helps actually body in better digestion and absorption of the nutrients. And during lactation, Ayurveda says that freshly cooked, light, warm, unctuous food is good. It needs to be nourishing. Milk is considered very good. Foxnut, ghee, meat soups are considered good. And during this phase, Ayurveda says that as a part of the diet, women should take medicated milk. Shirpak, that is the milk. There are many herbs and spices that have been described. I will share a few that medicated milk cooked with black pepper, pepperly and pippalimu, that is long pepper. It's fruits and roots both, and ginger, especially the ginger powder, dried ginger powder, jaggery and ghee. Milk cooked with that helps in good lactation. Another formulation is juice or powder of Vidarikan, that is Puraria tuberosa or Shringata. Singada, many of you might be knowing, and Shatavari, cooked with milk, is considered very good. In Ayurveda, a set of 10 herbs are described as Tanya Janan Gan, which helps in healthy lactation. That is Viran, Shali, Darb, Durva, Kushka, Shigundra, Ikta, and Ikshu. So their botanical names are here. I'm not going into the detail. I want to save time for questions. Now, for menopausal women, Ayurveda has given it in very much detail how to age and how to live a healthy life after menstruation. It does not consider a disease. And some of the herbs like Shatavari, Chandan, Madhuyashti, Guduchi, Ushir are considered very important herbs that women can actually, these are called Rasayan, rejuvenating herbs that women can actually take during this period. So
Thank you so much.
Yes,
And
thank you.
we have a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
One was those who are intolerant to dairy products. What would be the recommendation?
People who are intolerant to dairy, has they always been intolerant to, or do they become intolerant to at the time of postpartum or during their lactation? So, like I was talking about Agni, when people have low digestive fire, it creates intolerance to food. So it is not just that we have to find a substitute what they can take. We also have to work on their digestive fire, that what they are eating, how they can digest it well. And those who are intolerant to food, of course, Ayurveda also says that they should avoid that food. So there are other food items that they can take, and they should actually avoid milk if they are intolerant.
Thank you. Sesame has entered as a major allergen recently. Please mention how Ayurveda plans to handle this issue.
So if in the first part of my talk, I was talking about in today's world, how the things have become GMO, or how we use fertilizers and how the food is processed and stored that makes the food, make certain people sensitive to that. So in Ayurvedic time, food was grown naturally and these things were not known. Find it allergic to that, they should not eat.
Very much. Thank you very much, Vandana Baranwal. We could have gone on, but we have our next speaker.
Thank you so much.
Two of them. It's the Grewal family. It's Gary Gaurav and Gaurav Grewal. Mr. Gary Grewal is the CEO and founder of GarySon.com, which is in Reno, in Nevada. And his son, Gaurav Grewal, is finishing his bachelor's in Ayurveda. They have herbal formulations, which they're going to be talking about. Over to you, the Grewals.
Thank you all very much for having us today. And I would especially like to thank Dr. Renee, along with the other panelists, in order to make this event happen. I would like to introduce my dad, Mr. Gary Grewal.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thanks, Dr. Renee. Thanks, everybody. I'm Gary Gaurav. Gary & Son is a family-owned business in USA. Actually, I opened those doors in 1999 within a very small room on maybe 300 square feet. And today I'm joined by my wife and my son, who was just talking, and the other son is on my right side. So we have sourced since 1995 unique and rare herbs for Ayurvedic Institute, medicinal practitioners, businesses, and holistic healthcare. We strive very hard to bring the potent, fresh, tested for heavy metals, and we bring it through FDA, through Department of Agriculture and Customs to our wonderful clients in USA and Canada and Europe as well.
We here at Gary and Son have a lot of different herbs as well as different spices and formulations that are great for women's health. So we're going to go ahead and break down the different raw herbs especially. What we have right now is the amla, ashwagandha, brahmi, and the shatavari as well. To begin with, we'll discuss about the amla. Amla is great when it comes for de-stressing the mind and the body, relief from anxiety as well. It helps to promote a boost in immunity and helps to strengthen the heart and improve digestion as well, in order for the body to become healthier both for women as well as men. The next one is the ashwagandha. That can be both used for the roots as well as the plants. It helps to improve vigor in the body, reduce stress in the mind, and can be used in a memory tonic to help improve memory and the brain. It is also great to help burning fat, which can help everyone as well. Our next one is brahmi. Brahmi is a great antioxidant and anti-inflammatory herb that can be used very well. It helps to de-stress and manage neurological disorders, and it helps to enhance memory as well as can be used as a brain tonic as well. It can also be used to help normalize blood pressure, which is a wonderful thing for this specific herb. And finally, we have the herb that is the greatest for women, specifically shatavari. Not only does it help to boost immunity, it also helps to increase anti-aging as well as reduce stress. It is a wonderful natural diuretic and helps to flush toxins from the body as well. For women especially, it helps to aid the hormone balance in the body and aid in the reproduction as well. And helping to boost the immunity for the body, it greatly helps ease the transition when it comes to pregnancy in women. Our next is our spices, such as cumin, turmeric, cardamom, and yastimadu or licorice. Cumin specifically aids in digestion of the gut. It is a great anti-inflammatory and antioxidant as well. It helps to fight the common cold and aids in the respiratory system. And once again, cumin is a wonderful, wonderful spice when it comes to weight management and lowering cholesterol and blood sugar as well. Turmeric, again, is an herb that we all know very well. It is a wonderful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial herb as well as spice. Not only does the spice of turmeric aid in the hormonal balance, it also aids in menopausal symptoms for women specifically. It promotes the healthy heart as well as promoting anti-aging and skin health in women especially. Cardamom is another wonderful spice that helps and aid in gut digestion and gut health. Cardamom is a very good natural diuretic. It helps to flush toxins from the body and aids in weight loss. Cardamom also includes clearing up bad breath and oral health. And as an added bonus, it helps to normalize blood pressure in the body. Finally, we have yastimadu or licorice. Not only is it a very potent herb and spice, It helps to fight the common cold and aid in the respiratory system. It helps to aid in digestion of the gut, along with flushing toxins and boosting immunity for the body. It helps to promote a lot of healthy skin and healthy hair, which is especially important with women as well. These are the main herbs and spices that would be suggested, generally speaking, for women as well. And finally, we have the different formulations that my father, Mr. Gary Grewal, can give a great explanation to as well.
That is number one is we call it Shatavari Kalpa. This is good for females to enhance the breast milk production. It also reduces pain, fatigue, weakness in mothers. It also balances hormones and improves fertility. It also strengthens reproductive organs. It comes in granule form, and you can take it either in water or tea or milk. And the second one goes as Brahma Rasana is for the mind, has a anti-aging, stress-related combinations. It enhances memory, brain tonic, and it also fights tiredness and fatigue. And it improves in focus, reduce wrinkles and gray hair. Amazing one. And the next one is combination for menopause. Menopause combination, again, different herbs are there. They will help to balance the hormones at the menopause age so that estrogen and progesterone can be kept together. But it is a combination for different ailments, different herbs to make it better so that the woman can live better and a healthy life. And the last one is another one comes in called female potency. Is normally a woman at age around 40 or 40 after menopause you can take. There are certain herbs in female potency that enhances intimacy, that rejuvenate reproductive organs. So these are the few combinations which we make, and those are we are advising women to take those, and hopefully you can able to look at it, you can able to go to our website and look at it and read about them and see how they can help you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gary Grewal and Gaurav Grewal. I had a question for you. How do you test these products and formulations for heavy metals? Do you have any particular extensive testing done?
Yes, our combinations are made by a microbiologist. The first thing what we do when we procure the herbs, we get it tested for heavy metals, can be lead, cadmium, mercury, and arsenic and microbes. Once those tests are done, is a specific company in India called HGS. They test, there are some norms in USA that you have to have that much combination or that specific proportion you can have it, the rest no. But once they approve it, once they are in compliance, then we make the combination and we send the test second time again to make sure it is in a balanced form. It is the numbers are not wrong, they are same as correct. So those one testing of heavy metal is very important, whether it is tablets, whether it is combination, whether it is herbs, anything, we do heavy metal testing, Dr. Renee.
Thank you very much.
Yes, this is Dr. Bhavani. I was just wondering that if somebody wished to be treated with your Ayurvedic herbs and medications, can you suggest a website where they can get it, whom they should see, Could you give our audience some information?
On our website at www.garysun.com, and then you can go from our website from there. As for getting the different practitioners, you can go ahead. Normally we have a practitioner every spring and every fall that comes in especially from India, that you can go ahead and have an Ayurvedic consultation with them.
Otherwise, we have Dr. Vandana right on the panel.
Right
You
here.
can definitely consult her now. She's right there, so you don't go far. But nowadays, Ayurveda is so popular. So wherever you go, any state, any city, you will find some Ayurvedic doctors definitely who can able to help you. We do bring doctors every 4 to 5 months from India, and when we travel, they do workshop consultation. They advise these kind of formulations and herbs from our website, and you guys can look at it and read about it too.
Dr. Vandana and the Grewal family, thank you so much. I have a question. Being dietitian and nutritionist, practicing in USA for more than 30 years or more than that. When it comes to the, our medicine is all based upon the reimbursement from the insurance companies. So have you had any luck because anything when you go to buy are expensive. So have you had any luck with the insurance companies who are going to be reimbursing if anybody goes into Ayurvedic medicine or buys them?
In USA, still Ayurveda consultation or any of the Ayurveda services are not covered by insurance. We are still working on that. We have formed national level organizations and we are working on that, but still we are not there. It is still not covered by insurance.
At the Academy of the Nutrition and Dietetics, we have a very strong dietetic practice group, called the Dietitians in Integrative and Functional Medicine. And every efforts have been put forth. So I guess at some point also there are a couple of dietitians, as you know, the Pushpa and Gauri, now they are getting even the CEUs, which is, the educational credits from the credentialing agency of the academy. So we have come a long way. And so efforts have been made very, very strongly in though. And we are hoping at some point, because, push everybody, as Vandana said, that I think the Dr. Grewal mentioned, that every state you will go, you'll find the Ayurvedic practitioner. And I'm so happy that, Dr. Renee Mehrra brought this particular topic with your help also, Indu. And it should be in forefront in everybody's mind. When everybody will start talking about it, I'm sure they will listen one day. The NIH and, the Dr. Vasantla, then the Deepak Chopra, everybody is involved. So it is not new at all. So more and more people should be talking about it. And hopefully, this will get through one day.
Yeah,
Function medicine is totally.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm part of the National Certification and Credentialing Board for Ayurvedic Medicine, and that's exactly what you were talking about. We are providing those solutions. It'll take some time, but we are looking with a conduit between our clients and our legislators. Next webinar is going to be on Ayurveda, naturopathy, and Chinese medicine, and Sunday, April 30th at 11 a.m. We are raising the bar on good health and healthy living through holistic medicine. So I hope you'll all join us. Over to you, Mrs. Jaiswal.
And this is such a vast topic. Bhavani is a very well-known, she's, practicing in pediatrics and, in medicine for more than 40 years in USA. She can also say that the need for natural medicine, the holistic treatment, is there. And since everything is so regulated in USA, whatever we say, whatever we do, is regulated, especially as part of the treatment. And as nutritionists, we always say you are what you eat. And Ayurveda says how it's being digested. So it goes, hand in hand. It's this, the end product is how your body assimilates the food. It's a great seminar, great information. And thanks to both the moderators. Bhavani, would you like to say something?
Oh, thanks so much, Dr. Renee and Mrs. Indu Jaswal, for having me as a moderator on this particular conference. A lot of very interesting and informative discussions did take place. I was glad to be part of it. I would like to mention that Ayurveda will have its place in the sun. They will start including it in all the various insurances, because this was an uphill road for acupuncture. I practice acupuncture as well as pediatrics and public health. I used to have a separate office for it. I closed it when COVID, reached our shores. But acupuncture went through a rocky road to gain recognition and to be part of the health scene. And a number of insurance companies do recognize it. They do reimburse for it. And that's what we were doing in my office. So yes, complementary medicine is very complementary to allopathic medicine. And very often a lot of individuals derive immense benefit from it. So keep going. Thank you.
I think we have, I see Sunita Ramaya has joined us today. She has some kind of like a restaurant or some business in Ayurveda. Sunita,
company using organic juices that utilize Ayurvedic and healing spices like kokum, turmeric, black pepper, and people were very receptive to it. It was a nice venture.
Well, thank you. We had a question very quickly. Any remedy for plaque in arteries?
So to that, Ayurveda at the end of it is a medical science. The approach in Ayurveda is that we just do not talk about the disease that affects in the person. So in Ayurveda, we look at it as Roga Pariksha and Rogi Pariksha, the person and the disease, how this disease is manifesting in this person. So when someone talks about plaque in the arteries, the question would be whose arteries that plaque is in, who that person is, and how that disease is manifesting. So assessment of that person would be very important. Like for one problem in Ayurveda, we have 10 herbs. Which herb we got to use, or which combination of herbs we got to use for this person? It is highly individualized in its approach. So even like Dr. Gary Ji was sharing so many formulations. These are very powerful herbs. These are powerful combinations, but you got to choose the correct one. And for that, you got to talk to a doctor, and just do not take it as a free advice. If you are really looking for solution, understand that this is a powerful thing that we are talking about. It has been highly misused. And over the period of time, people have started questioning it and losing faith on it. It is just that it has been misused, wrongly understood and used. So here in this educated community, let's take it scientifically the way this science is meant to be. Understand the disease, understand Rog and Rogi, and then take the treatment. So it would be not good to just say that, okay, you take this up with this for this problem, and you are going to see the result.
Thank you
I
very
hope
much.
you are getting my point.
Yeah, thank you.
Renee, can I interact here for a second?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Sure.
Okay, not from the Ayurvedic practitioner's point of view, but I must say, as far as Nilima's question is concerned, that Amla has been known now, and which has, the lot of supplement companies are adding Amla, which is known to help with the plaque and arteries and the cholesterol lowerings, and they are encouraging. And these are all the professional grade supplement companies. So I just wanted to mention.
But my take on that is, even any supplement that you take, anything, if you're taking certain medication, please talk to your doctor before you take the supplements. Because remember, these Ayurvedic supplements, or the, like the naturopathies, whatever we have, the churans or the tablets, we must talk to our doctor that, listen, I went to this place, I met a rep and he gave me this. Can I take it? Because otherwise, if you're taking medication, you take these supplements, they're going to have an effect. So we always say very clearly, even in our practice, how it should be used and how often. And of course, I agree with you, the turmeric capsules, how they should be taken. So I am a strict advocate. I always, Rita knows me very well, that any supplements that we take, they all have to be under a medical supervision. And that's very, very important.
I couldn't have agreed more. Anytime you have a medical condition, please consult your medical doctor before you take any supplements. That's very, very important. This webinar is for educational purposes. Treatment has to be personalized, so you have to check with your medical doctor.
Say a quick word. As an allopathic physician, I cannot mention or I cannot reiterate or stress too much that we should not mix medications. If somebody is taking one particular medication in allopathy, then they really need to talk to both that allopathic physician, and if they're going to be taking Ayurveda or homeopathy or any other medication, they should be talking to that practitioner. So you have a concerted effort, because otherwise there are a lot of situations which happen with the patient in operating rooms, because the surgeon or the physician doesn't know that the patient is on a particular Ayurvedic medication, and therefore they have some detrimental results. Kaya says, so please talk to your physician. All right. Thank you.
Jyoti, would you like to give vote of thanks?
Yeah, I'm so happy to attend this webinar organized by Indian American Forum and Dr. Renee Mehrra. It was very educational, and the speakers, Vandana ji, and also Gary and Gaurav, and also Sunita and Dr. Bhavani from Singapore. It was very, very educational. And I believe in Ayurvedic and allopathic. My father was allopathic doctor. So thank you very much also for joining this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jyoti ji. Very much again, all of you. Thank you, Mrs. Jaiswal. Thank you, Dr. Bhavani Srinivasan, Vaidya Vandana Baranwal, and Gary Grewal and Gaurav Grewal. And thank you, all of you, especially Rita Bhatija ji, Jyoti ji, Sunita ji, for giving your input as well. And we'll keep these webinars going because they're informational and educational. So don't forget to join us again on Sunday, April 30th at 11 a.m. for another webinar on Ayurveda, naturopathy, and Chinese medicine. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much. Namaste.